How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Backwoods Sports Podcast. We are here on the 10th of February, and we're rolling into the Super Bowl, man. This is going to be a huge game. Just absolutely great AFC and NFC championship games rolling right into it. And how do you feel in your predictions this week and where they're going to land and who's going to be that champion?
I'm looking at the Rams. I'm seeing Stafford. I'm seeing Cup. I'm seeing OBJ. I'm seeing Arnold. I'm saying, how is this team gonna lose?
Yep.
But you know what? I'm looking at Buff Joe Burrow in his second year, come off an injury. I'm looking at Jamar Chase, that's about to take in a Rookie of the Year trophy.
Yep.
I'm looking at the tight end CJ.
Oh, for sure, dude.
He's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Key factor.
And the Rams are obviously the favorite, but I got to go with Cincy. I mean, they just got the swag this year. I think they got the
for sure.
That it factor is here for it.
I definitely think they do. It's just you better hope that the Rams aren't even close to pretty well prepared because the Rams are a very tough team to take on, even on a bad day. So they're just a real tough-nosed team that can grind it out in any situation, really. But I guess, I can't shy away from it because you and I are picking the same because I have to go Bengals as well, man. This is with the heart. If I had to put money, I'd be the Rams. But, those Bengals, I think they're going to be rolling, man. They're going to be doing a lot of stuff. Just like you said, they're young. I think they're going to be flying around and just might be a little too much for some of those Rams players to handle. Too much muscle over there. Who knows? But anyway, though, then we get over to Kyle and Jay over there making their pick, and they went with the Rams, man. So it's a big old split, good old style, and we'll see how it comes out on this one to finish off and round out our predictions for the season because we all seem to have pretty damn good records at the end of the day. No matter where we started in the season or whatnot, everyone had a very good record and at least started very hot as well. So we'll see how all that pans out and everything, but we'll quickly get into this last part here. What do you think about your key guys going forward here in the Super Bowl? Who's gonna, make it all work if they're gonna win?
Yeah, I mentioned a couple guys on the Rams already to look out for. Moving over to the Bengals, though, you really got to look at their offensive line because that's one of the things that you're looking at every week with them.
Oh yeah,
they gave up the 8 sacks in the divisional round. They did a lot better in the conference championship against the Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
Also, got to look at guys like Eli Apple. He's a guy that's usually not known to be that great.
Yep,
big
for sure.
Talker. He can show up. We're gonna have to see. He might be a make or break kind of guy on Sunday night.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be a make or break kind of guy. He has to have a game, or at least, I wouldn't even say a whole game. He has to at least have a second half. That's what he has to have to be able to keep them in it, because that's what he had against the Chiefs, and it worked. So at least a decent first half and an amazing second half. And if the rest of the team is going, it should be an effort and enough to win that game. I'd love to see Joe Burrow raise that trophy, man. It should be a great game, honestly. Stafford, though, this is his first time in the lights, man. The real lights like this. So I don't think he's going to shy away either. I'm not saying he won't throw a pick. If whatever the over-under, it's probably 1.5. I'd probably take both, under and over, but just be safe. But yeah, putting more on the under, But in general, though, it's just one of those things where he's probably going to. And a lot of those quarterbacks do it early in Super Bowls. And just like kickers, a lot of kickers miss kicks early in Super Bowls. It just happens. I think almost every single one that's maybe just one Super Bowl the Patriots run. Even Vinatieri, Gostowski, all those years, all of them at least missed one kick, I'm pretty sure.
I want to look at the over-under for Arnold sacks, probably 1.5.
Oh, yeah, Donald. Yeah, dude. He's definitely going to have over, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You get remember he get on first play, right? For real.
Yeah, first play sack of the game.
Exactly, dude. I definitely think
Strip
so.
Sack.
Yeah, right. So now, remember the defense you can get for a touchdown. Is Donald gonna have his own line for a touchdown?
No.
Let's get it.
No, that'd be crazy. Somewhere out there.
Yeah, right. In some crazy sports book somewhere. Oh yeah, hell no. That'd be insane, dude. The odds on that would just be absolutely wild. But yeah, we don't stay too long on that too much because it's it is what it is. And it's going to be an amazing day for sure. The game, everything, the whole week has been a huge buildup, but we don't want to, do too much on top of it. The only guy I want to mention last, though, is CJ Uzama, if he's healthy, because I saw him at the podium there at their send away rally, rip off the big old brace he had in the knee from that injury in the championship game. If that's true and it's not just wishful thinking, then, and he has a good game anyway, if you book him for 40 yards, like if he gets that, then I think they have themselves a day.
40 and a touchdown.
40 and a touchdown, they definitely get a dub, I think, because to get him involved that much, I don't know. I mean, he's a good tight end, but you got to get that ball around, and Burrow does like to throw to everyone. So might be one of those days where it's 5, 6 receivers getting involved. Exactly, and the backs are getting whipped out. I mean, they're always putting the backs out of the backfield out there. But like I said, we don't want to stay too long on this because it is what it is. But real quickly, I want to at least mention we have a little something here for you guys, a ad from Snuff Cup. They are a tobacco company for anyone that uses it. And if you're like me as a kid and some other kids around town, maybe when you were young, your parental figure may have used that substance and used it in a bottle like a Coke or some old water bottle or something like that, where you didn't really notice if it was a difference and you may have possibly drank it. So this is a new revolutionary cup where you actually have a holder in the bottom and you're able to screw it off, and in the top you have a spot where you can spit on in it. So everybody knows, don't drink this goddamn thing because it is the nastiest stuff on the face of the earth. I don't even know why people do it, but we won't stay too long in that. But we're gonna get over here next to the NBA segment, or actually we'll forget about it. Beast of the week. We don't want to forget about those bad boys because they deserve all the credit in the world from this last championship week, man. Hell of a damn week. And AFC will start off first, man, at 6 receptions for 103 yards. It's a 17 average for a 44-yard longest play on the day. And that man is number 85. That's T. Higgins for the Cincinnati Bengals. For our AFC players, Beast of the Week. And we'll go over here next to the NFC where we just can't get enough of this damn man. He should be the MVP on the season. I don't even question it. The only other man out of position at quarterback besides Jonathan Taylor, who sadly just couldn't even make the playoffs. But this man has done it countless times. I can't tell how many times he's done it on the year on our show as Beast of the Week, but he has gotten more than 10 games over 100 yards. This game, he had 11 catches for 142. That's a 12.9 average with 2 touchdowns, 25 being longest on the day, chopping it up small as he could go on the way. That's Cooper Kupp for our NFC players. Beast of the Week. Hell of a job by those dudes. And now that we're on from our ad and on from Beast of the Week, before we forget about it, thank you, Dan. We're now on to the NBA. And so, Dan, like always, take it away.
Well, today is a very special day in the NBA because it is the NBA trade deadline. We just wrapped it up at 3 p.m. this afternoon.
Yeah.
So we do have a little recap. We want to get into something that happened prior to today.
Yep.
So the Lakers, they played the Portland Trailblazers, who they made a couple trades. We'll get into that right after this. Let's just say the Trailblazers didn't have CJ, they didn't have Dame, they didn't have Powell, they didn't have Rocco, they had Nurkic, who doesn't play any defense.
Yep.
I know you bet on the Trailblazers because you knew this was going to happen. The Lakers lost to these guys, and in embarrassing fashion, really.
I can't say I didn't hedge it, but it was a hedge in the end of the day in the third quarter. But it worked out. It did.
So this front office is just to lose to this team is embarrassing. It's a mess. The front office, LeBron, he's running the roster. Rob Pelinka is his yes man. Kurt Rambis and his wife, who don't even know what they're doing with the team. They're in charge of all the coaches. They're in charge of doing all that. Nobody knows what's going on in the front office. And it takes me back to when Magic Johnson was there and he said, I'm like dealing with this. You know how hard it
must be to be in charge and not in charge.
Yeah.
That's what it is, dude.
But just imagine that you're Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
One of the best Lakers of all time. You were the Showcase Lakers, Showtime Lakers. Got all these rings. And you started working for them. That's almost a dream come true from almost anybody.
Yeah.
How much do you have to suck for one of your best players of all time to come in front of and say, I'm not dealing with this BS? and get out of there.
I mean, I guess so, but at the same time, you got to think like things can change, not overnight, but over a coaching
Things can
staff
change,
moving, like things can change a lot, but over like
But you wanna
ownership
be there
and
for
different
every time,
random
like, it's-
things. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, looking
It's
back,
tough.
it's not a surprise that he wants to get out of the situation. I mean, it is a
Oh, yeah.
mess over there. But like we were saying before, you were talking about LeBron's teams. You know, don't count them out. I mean, they
Yeah,
have seven
for
seed.
sure.
But we'll get into that. And what I was talking about with all the trades, and concerning the Blazers, we did see yesterday they first started off the whole ruckus with trading Norman Powell and Robert Covington to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yeah.
They got back Eric Bledsoe, Justin Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a second round pick that belongs to Detroit in 2025.
Oh, really? Damn, that's not bad. Not bad at all.
I mean, Norman Powell, let's think, they gave up Gary Trent Jr. for him,
Yeah.
which was a pretty good upgrade. I think they got a little bit better defense with still a solid shooter. Robert Covington is a great defender also.
Yeah, that's true.
They got back expiring contracts, not great players, not great picks. It looks like the Blazers about to give in. This is the point where people are saying, is Dame going to get out of here now? Like, looks like they're kind of blowing it up. They got
I mean, to get rid of CJ, dude, like that's the guy you think they would have kept around because more rumors were on Dame than anything forever. So it's just like if you get rid of him, you kind of almost are not to force the hand, but it's just like it's there for the taking.
Yeah, and like you said with CJ, that happened just 4 days later.
Yeah.
So actually, that first trade happened 5 days ago. But the Blazers got rid of CJ. They got rid of Larry Nance Jr. They got rid of Tony Snell, which wasn't that too crazy.
Yeah,
they got
he's
back.
Just a toss bag.
They got back Josh Hart. They got back Thomas Satoransky. They got Nickel. I'm not even trying to know some of these guys, to be honest with you. They got back nothing for the best players. They basically dumped salary. They got a 21 mil trade exception, which they can use. They're gonna have like 60 mil this offseason. They ended up keeping Dame. They're now saying they want to keep Dame and build around him.
Yeah.
Which basically they already did, so now they want to kind of redo it.
Yeah.
How do you think? What do you think about this whole new Blazers look? Do you think they can rebuild around Dame?
Dude, I don't know about
you think
that.
Dame
honestly,
wants this even? Did he ask for this?
No, he does. So. He must have no say over there, honestly, like at all. And it's not that I think players really should be on that category, but it's just one of those things where like you want to check with those guys and make sure that like, oh, you know, we make this move, or you like changing everything about what you think about us, like because it is true, like any move could do that for some people. I mean, you don't know who, if they have any power, if they're any kind of player, but he is one of those players, so who knows? It's it's tough, man, honestly, at the end of the day. But I wouldn't want to be a part of it if I was Dame. And even if I had shown all that consistency. I mean, we see Tom Brady left New England. I mean, there's no loyalty at the end of the day to any of that. I mean, if people really wanted to say loyalty, like it's not to say like draw it back and only make too much money, but like yeah, like you'd take less if you wanted to win. And there is people that have done it for a long time, but then usually get sick of it. And like I said, Tom Brady, like he was one of those. Like he took a lot of pay cuts for a long time and did his service to be able to keep the guys around him to be able to win. And look what the hell it built, man. Yeah. So it's like if we're off their championships, then why aren't we trying this?
Yep, I totally agree.
Maybe just a thought, but we don't want to make people look stupid. They want their money too. We know that.
But I guess the Blazers thought it was best to tear down and rebuild.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought when I saw the first trade, even the first trade was in my mind. As a Pistons fan, with Sean Bills being the coach there now, I'm thinking, did he just get played into this job? Because they kind of sold it to him as, hey, we're going to win now. We're going to build this roster. We're going to use this roster. And now they completely tore it down from underneath his feet almost. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they talked to him. But when he first got the job, I do not think this is what they sold it as. And I'm saying, did this man get played?
Yeah, probably. I mean, but the other thing, too, is that who knows if they have this, I mean, not clause in the contract or anything like that, but like there's if this doesn't go right, we're gonna sell out by this point kind of thing. Like there was a hearsay, like they knew it, they told them kind of thing, If it's something like that, maybe. I don't know. It's just how you gotta call it.
It'll be interesting to see what they do in the future and how Dame wants to handle himself even, because he's getting up there with age.
Yeah.
If they're gonna build around him, then he's gotta bring in vets.
And they've had a good team for a long time, like, and not a great team, but just an above average team that's been able to go if Dame can go. Like that's how they've been. Dame can go, they can rise and get to the playoffs and get to the second round. Like that's how they've kind of been, second or first round, really. Like, first round is nothing special.
see, to me, this just doesn't make sense for the Blazers because this incoming free agency is not good. The following year is better, but it's not great either. And by that time, like I said, Dame's getting old. But so this roster right now is looking set up to be a complete rebuild. It doesn't look to be like built around Dame bringing guys because one, okay, you had your trade exception for $21 million. That's a pretty good player. You didn't use
definitely.
it during the trade deadline. You didn't make any of the trades to bring anyone in to help. If you want any stars, because you're not getting them in free agency, you're probably not getting them the next year. Dame is probably having a lot of thoughts in his head right now.
Yeah, like, I mean, everyone says he has for a while, so it's like if there's any time to think about this stuff, I mean, definitely now.
He's always played it off because I always like I didn't say that, but you come to people like
any rational person is gonna
like especially
your job screws you over.
Yeah, and everybody on media is saying, "Bro, we got you with the loyalty thing. Like, you're cool. You can leave. Like, we're cool. Like, we don't care.
Yeah,
like, you're not
exactly.
like we're not like gonna treat like KD." So
it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I don't know. It's just those franchises, the Chargers in the NFL, like a bunch of ones. I don't want to go on name too many, but all these teams that just like people are like such good fans of and stuff, and they don't really care to win for them. Like they're fine with complacency and getting money and stuff, and they're not really like they're getting good players and like I said, the Chargers, they have great players, but it's like always like a bad coach or like they're like guys are all hurt, like they have some like excuse or something, but they can never get anywhere near it because why? They're not.
There's something in the way.
Yeah, there's something in the way, or they're just haven't built up.
And you won't know what it is until that person leaves.
Yeah,
which is most likely someone in front office.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's one of those things, man. Those franchises are always going to be in the mud, even if they look like they're something special.
Yep.
But
we'll move on. So after we saw that second Portland trade, we did see another trade where Indiana sent out Karis LeVert.
Yeah, dude, I did see that. That was a nice one, man.
Yeah, so he got sent to the Cleveland Cavs, which is a great fit. His hometown, first of all. So good fit there. Him and Darius Garland are going to be a great backcourt.
Yeah.
Colin Sexton's going to be good if they don't get rid of him. He'll come back from injury. He should be good. Cleveland only had to give up Ricky Rubio, he was injured the rest of the season on an expiring contract. They gave up a lottery protected first round pick for this season, which which the Pacers will end up getting because the Cavs are not going to be in the lottery.
Yeah, true.
And they gave up Houston's 22nd. They gave up Houston's second round pick for this season, which is probably going to be around pick like 30 to 35 overall, which is still pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Utah's 2027 second round pick, which who knows by that time. But so I think the Cavs are clear winners here. Indiana, got a little bit more cap space available. They got a decent pick. You're not going to get a star with it, but it's better than nothing, I guess. But I am surprised they want to give up on LeVert after they just traded for him.
Yeah, that's tough, man. To get rid of it, like a lot of those guys have good value too. That's tough. That really is a tough move right there.
But what I do like about this is now he's paired back with Jared Allen, who he used to be with in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And so they're, I think, going to play really well together, especially because Karis LeVert is actually in the 80th percentile for pick and roll offensive buckets. So I think they're going to roll pick and roll all the time. I think
probably,
really,
dude.
Really good.
Yeah, dude, he's such a speedster, and he's good at getting around the edge and everything around people. He's wild. Dude. Honestly, injury has been the biggest thing that's pushed against his career.
Yeah.
Everything else, he's just excelled anytime he's been on the court and healthy.
Totally.
So,
and then
should be a great thing.
And for LeVert too, he's eligible for an extension with Cleveland. So they got his bird right, so they can extend him also. So the Cavs.
Sweet.
They're pretty good on defense. They still need to get a little bit better three-point shooting, the Cavaliers, and they need to get a little bit more better playmaking, I think. But they are still pretty good, and they're very, very young. So, I think they're in a better place now than they expected or anyone thought they would be. So
yeah, that's true. Honestly, I think they're going to do a good job and everything. Once they won't, but we'll see how it works out, man. Rubio is just another one of those. To this point, I'd say he's a great veteran, IQ high, everything like that. But it's just another one of those guys that rolls through Indiana. It's just another point guard. It's not like he's like a generational point guard. So we'll see if it changes anything. But Sabonis being out of the picture now just kind of
exactly.
That sucks.
Yeah. So
that really sucks for them. Brings them back to even more complacency.
Yeah. So the Pacers, they definitely didn't win that trade, but they did win the trade they made afterwards, where they ended up they actually got rid of Sabonis and ended up winning the trade. In my opinion, They got rid of Sabonis, they got rid of Jeremy Lamb and Justin Holiday, who was a good player. All these good players.
Yeah.
Lamb's kind of old. Same with Holiday. But Holiday's pretty good on defense. And a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
The Pacers, they got back Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Great shooter. A very, very high volume three-point shooter. I think he's 2 or 3 in the league. He makes over 3 threes a game on a very, very high clip. They got Tristan Thompson, their expiring contract. The biggest guy they got back, Tyrese Halliburton. What were the Kings thinking getting rid of this guy? They just drafted him. Top 10. I don't remember what exactly got picked, but this dude has one of the highest potentials in the league.
Oh yeah,
among the young guys,
for damn sure. I could not believe when I saw he was in there, and even Buddy Hield, like just in general, this is what I mean by you didn't have to make a move. You could have just sat there and been fine, and they had to just make a move.
It's times like these where teams are making trades just to make trades, and that's why you lose trades.
Yep, that's what I mean, dude. Like jobs are on the line because they're like, you have to make a trade. You have to make a trade. It's like it's not to say Sabonis isn't really good, and I like Jeremy Lamb and Holiday's okay, but like
you like Jeremy Lamb with UConn, and that was
because he's hit like 2 or 3 game winners in the NBA. They're pretty nice.
Yeah,
like there's a little fan favoriteness just to see him.
There is,
but
there is.
The thing though is like. They're not making anything up compared to what Buddy Hield and Halliburton were doing their production.
Not only did they make up, they became back for it.
Exactly. Second round pick.
A second round pick, and
where's the first round?
Sabonis, he had like
I'd be asking first round, even with those players.
Sabonis had his debut for the Kings. He had like 20, like 10 and 8. He had a really good game. He was like immaculate shooting.
Yeah.
I've always considered. I don't want to get into this. I've always considered Sabonis overrated, and a lot of people think he's underrated. Right now, I could say maybe he's.
He's a typical guy that role, though. He's a typical like, average guy that role.
I think he's adequately rated, which is kind of also why I think he's adequately rated, but he's talked about adequately rated so much. Like we all know he's like a great player.
Yeah, so everyone knows about him.
But why is he talked about? Like he's slightly above average. But like we talk about it so much, that's why I think he's overrated.
I mean, that's how a lot of people feel about a lot of players, especially like the slot receivers in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. But we'll move on. We'll keep talking about the Kings, and I keep telling you guys, if the NBA has to get rid of the team, it has to be the Kings because they're the worst franchise in the NBA next to the Timberwolves. Those 2 teams got to get out of here. I know they'll never do it. I know they're adding teams, but I keep saying, and they keep proving me right. These are the
like I said before, complacency, man. The complacency, bro, in these teams. No winning, wanting to win.
But anyway, keep going with the Kings. They were involved today for the first trade on the trade deadline date.
Yeah.
They were involved in a 4-team trade involving the Kings themselves, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Los Angeles Clippers, and my very own Detroit Pistons.
Oh,
so we'll break down who got what.
Let's see.
The Kings got Dante DiVincenzo from the Milwaukee Bucks. They also got Trey Lyles. He was, I think, a 28-year-old power forward. He's pretty decent from the Pistons. And they also got Josh Jackson from the Pistons.
Yeah.
The Bucks ended up getting Serge Ibaka, great pickup, and 2 future second-round picks and cash compensation. The Clippers got another guard in Rodney Hood, and they got Sammy Ojeleye, if you remember that name.
Oh, Sammy, yeah.
Sammy Ojeleye. And then lastly, the Pistons got Marvin Bagley Jr.
Okay.
So
not bad. It's kind of a toss around everywhere.
Yeah, a couple of things. When I first looking at Dante DiVincenzo going from the Bucks to the Kings, I know he had a lot of injuries, and now I'm kind of wondering how severe were these because he's a really good player. He played great defense for them, and he could be a bucket on certain nights. He never was really a letdown. So I was kind of confused to see the Bucks give him up, but for them to get back Serge Ibaka, I think that's a great pairing with Giannis. How do you feel about Serge on the Bucks?
Serge in the Bucks, it could be something big. I mean, we think of it back, more or less, I say, back in Toronto, and he was such a good pairing with like DeMar and stuff like that. And not to say, Giannis is DeMar, but he's like an amazing player, and he can get other people open. And as soon as he's going to the rack, you can have Amanda Dishoff right there being Ibaka, who can do near any shot. So
yeah, and he's getting there with age, but we even said like the other week, like. The teams that are winning now, that they need the vets.
Yeah, they need them besides LA.
Besides LA, they got enough and they messed it up.
Yeah, seriously, they ruined the mold. They overplayed the mold, should you say? Seriously. We were talking before about that, man. That's just is crazy how it's finally blowing up on LeBron. It's been like so much time. Yeah, he's handled those so many situations as GM LeBron, doing it right, and this one's finally the one that, or at least seems to be, falling apart. It seems.
And we'll get into the Lakers more because we got some stuff on Westbrook since he is staying. The Lakers are going to focus on the whole buyout market, but we'll get back to this 4-team trade.
Fuck yeah,
Moving
it
on
was good.
to the Clippers, they ended up getting Ronnie Hood and Sammy Ojale. Ronnie Hood, I think they definitely need another guard.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just another body because I guess they're going to tank this year. I don't know if it's PG and Kawhi both out for the season.
I mean, what else are they gonna do? Yeah, they really don't have an option. They just have what they have on the court, and you got to roll the ball out every night. That's kind of how it is.
There's also so many bad teams in the West. It's like we might accidentally get in playing tournament.
Yeah, this is why I never understood why they put it in the first place. There's still every league has teams that and it's not every year they're doing it, but some years they're trying to go because they have the healthy roster and they have the people. And there's years where it's right off the bat or even before the season, they're just like, this isn't the year. Like you just know it, and everyone knows it. It's just tough those years.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be mean, but wearing the jersey you're wearing, we all go through it, man.
Sometimes longer than others, but
exactly.
Goes around, comes around,
For sure, man. I'm just praying the Patriots keep coming back.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then just very lastly with that trade, the Detroit Pistons ended up getting Marvin Bagley, and they ended up just giving out Trey Lyles and Josh Jackson for him. Marvin Bagley is one of those guys that was rumored to go to Detroit. He said he didn't want to be in Sacramento. He's a restricted free agent, so I'm assuming the Pistons are going to match any offer. Actually, quickly, something that's kind of weird with Bagley's qualifying offer for the summer. His qualifying offer will be doubled if he starts 18 of the Pistons' last 28 games.
Really?
So if you watch any Pistons games, don't expect Bagley to be starting. At least don't start 18 of those 28 games because if he does, they're gonna have to pay him double. So I don't see why they would do that unless maybe they made his own work out in between. I don't know.
He's got to know that he ain't getting that.
So hopefully he doesn't get all up, become a head case like he's kind of known to. But there's some guys like that around the league. So hopefully that won't come into a factor.
Every league, don't worry, man. NFL sees it all the time.
We'll move on. We got a couple more smaller trades. Nothing too crazy. I guess we'll actually go to one more bigger trade. One guy has been in the rumors for a while.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is one of those guys. He was in Dallas, matched with one of his buddies. Hasn't worked out. We see Kristaps Porzingis getting sent out all the way to Washington.
Okay.
He got sent out for Spencer Dinwiddie, who there was news coming out that his teammates didn't like him from the very moment he got there. He never clicked with anybody. No one really liked him on the court. There's been a lot of drama, I guess, with Spencer Dinwiddie that was kind of hidden under the rug and didn't come out until around the deadline. So Dinwiddie and Daniel Bertans, which is a really good young center or power forward, they're going to go to Dallas for KP and a second round pick only. So I think Dallas clearly got the win on that trade. What do you think?
I mean, it definitely sounds like Dallas did, and they're getting rid of Kristaps, who just, like you said before in the beginning, just has not worked out. Nothing about it has, and I'm sorry to say, man, he's just been injured, and he's been like that since the Knicks and everything. Like, it's just been him, dude. And I don't know if it's trainers or whatnot, or just him not being honest with himself. I don't know what it is, dude, because there's always different variables to that.
His career has been very funny because he got
he got
drafted, he booed, and then he balled out. He did really, really well for the Knicks. Then he got injured, and then he got traded during his injury. Though that's when he went to Dallas during his injury. Really? Since then, he hasn't really been seen.
Yeah,
and he's been injured more.
When
he plays, he's like. I mean, you saw that one.
The beginning of his career when he first came in was his height, and then he
he came in with a ceiling.
Yeah.
Did you see that one better that had the first basket for like three guys, and the last one he needed was KP?
Yeah.
And KP had a wide open layup and he bricked it. Did you see that? He cost him, I think, $67,000.
Wow.
So KP or $72,000 maybe. So KP ended up sending him a signed jersey. And everybody's like, bro, send him $70,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, no one wants your jersey, bro. But that's KP's career in a nutshell, basically blowing wide open layups.
Wow. Like that's just crazy. And dude, he was such a force when he first came in too. And I could never tell you, I don't know what ruined it. I don't know what took it down and just, especially the injuries, dude. Like what what it was that just got him so screwed up that he's been so hurt all the time and not been able to be as consistent in general. Just sucks.
Yeah, so that was basically it for the bigger trades.
Yeah.
We'll get into some more like the role player guys that still were like kind of noteworthy. So we're gonna look at first the Pacers ended up getting Jalen Smith from the Suns for Torrey Craig, which I was a little bit surprised by because Jalen Smith is a young guy has really, really high potential. So I was surprised to see them trade Jalen Smith for Torrey Craig, but they did need kind of more people within in the front court.
Yeah.
The Suns. And afterwards, it made more sense because we saw Aaron Holiday got sent from the Wizards to Phoenix. So they got another guard there. So it kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. It definitely makes more sense that way. I don't know. I mean, like, still to me, a lot of these seem like they're just trades. Like, it's just always like dump offs and stuff like that. It's nothing like too wild, but I don't know. That's how it's gonna go in the NBA trade deadline, man. There's always stuff popping up, and this year I feel like it started a lot earlier. Honestly, a couple of days ago is really, and even weeks. It's been little things here and there dropping.
Yeah,
for sure.
And well, lastly, before we get into the Celtics and the biggest trade that we've seen of the season, we talked about how the Hornets needed a big man. I thought Obama, one of those guys I thought was going to get traded, didn't. Turner, that's going to get traded, didn't. Even Jeremy Grant didn't get traded. All these guys, they ended up getting Montrezl Harrell for Ish Smith and some guy named Vernon Carey. So that's really big for the Hornets. They got the big they needed.
That's not bad.
Physical guy. They needed someone down low. These guys are kind of fooling around 6-7 seeds. Could really have to make a push because they really just kind of added a guy.
No, exactly.
This was a great player. He's a journeyman.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it thinks he's a journeyman because he's such a solid player. But it's just how some of those guys go and get tossed around. It just happens that way. But I mean, I don't know. Don't want to go too much into it, but I feel like it's gonna come back to bite them in the end. That's all.
Well, we'll get into some Celtics trades because they're pretty active. They shipped out 7 players.
Yeah, dude, they've been absolutely tossing around.
Yeah. So we'll see what they did first. They sent PJ Dozier and Bol Bol, who they just got for Hernan Gomez, and a second round and cash for a future second round to the Magic. So they basically just cleared cap. Both these teams basically cleared cap. The Celtics cleared luxury tax, cleared the normal tax. Have cap space. They're kind of fixing Danny Ainge's mess.
Yeah, exactly.
To summarize it, and that's what I think.
Sounds like it for sure. Because they're just dumping everything. Yeah.
After that, we saw maybe a surprising move, but what I think is a big W for the Celtics. They got Derek White for Josh Richardson. And how do you feel about type of way that?
Yeah.
Josh Richardson, and he's a good player.
Yeah, I like Josh Richardson. And it's nothing about I don't like Derek White, but it's just I don't know. I mean, it was a good fit and stuff. So whatever you get back is what you get back. I guess it's just one of those trades. And I've seen enough in the past where there's guys you think they have something for that they want to keep around. Seems like especially a great second team guy to really hold it together. But at the end of the day, as long as you got Marcus Smart, don't matter, baby. He can run all day on the court. So he can win that second team. Yeah, exactly. It is true, but I don't know, man. There's something to having that dog in your team, and you need a dog like that in the team, especially if you're gonna win that ring.
Yep.
So,
I like Derek White. He's 27 now. He's entering his prime. He put up 15 a night the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He did become a little inconsistent when we saw DeJounte Murray from the Spurs come back from injury.
Yeah.
But
that's expected.
Yeah, it's expected, and especially when he gets so normalized in that system.
Exactly.
Now with the Celtics, who they ended up getting rid of Schroeder.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second. So now White is basically gonna be a sole man next to Smart, who's not gonna be competing for point guard really, because I know they're going at points sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's usually when they don't have.
Exactly. So he should be able to be the sole guy. Yeah, and if he is a sole guy, he can run forward as being that dude. I mean, who knows, man? And Smart just be a second
He
team.
might play off the ball because he's a good 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe not done. They're trying to get some space for free agency. Maybe
Yeah,
this year
exactly.
again. Like I said, it's not a great free agency class, but you never know. The Celtics, though, they did get back a familiar face. They got back Daniel Tice.
I saw
in the
that.
Dennis
We
Schroeder
talked about
trade.
that, yeah.
They gave up Schroeder and Cantor and Bruno Fernando. Cantor got waived. Or sorry, Ennis Freedom.
Yeah, Ennis Freedom.
Totally correct here. He got waived. Fernando's probably gonna get waived, but the Celtics got back Tice. Again, shredded some cap, got back
For sure.
a big man, which I thought this was gonna lead to a Al Horford trade. I was completely wrong on that.
Yeah.
We'll see how they handle his contract in this coming offseason, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of a guy where if you're really trying to get, down with money and everything like that and just strip it down, like to me, he was the first guy to go, which I'm glad he didn't go because he is the glue. He's the guy that holds things together at the end of the day, especially when you're in some of those bad games. But I don't know, man. We'll see what their direction is because they may be under, but they're still right up against it.
Mm-hmm. And so all of this trade talk, it seems kind of boring now. We talk about some role players. We're going to get into the biggest thing that we've seen of the day.
Hell yeah, man.
Something that's been kind of
passed around. I may have said, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yep.
We were talking a little bit about just definitely possibility. I said maybe that one guy would be able to, play absolute bully ball and go back to what he was doing instead of have to be fake for an entire city calling him a pussy.
Not the best city to do it to either.
No, not at all, because that fan base is maybe the absolutely most like raccoon ravaged base of
passionate
fans.
Is another synonym of those words.
Passionate. Like absolutely crazy. They're just rabid down there, man. They're insane, drunk, everything. And that is Philly, dude. And Ben Simmons and James freaking Harden.
Yeah,
take it away, Dan. How absolutely wild was this trade? And who won it, man? Because I think it's clear cut.
Yeah, I asked you who won that trade. Are you kidding?
Because it's not even a question.
Come
just
on,
tell me.
Just
tell the details.
Nets won that trade, all right?
Easy.
Let's see who the Nets got. All right. The Nets gave up James Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, that was going to happen. He wasn't going to sign his player option.
For sure.
And they gave up Paul Millsap. Okay, they're already finished center. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right. But just wait. Okay, this is what they got back. They got back Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Already replacing not only James Harden, but Paul Millsap. Yes, exactly.
He's basically doing not both their jobs because he can't shoot that great. But James Harden, I'm sorry, he's not doing what he was doing
Paul
before.
was actually one of the best mid-range shooters coming into the league, I think, or coming into the season.
Yeah. I'm talking about Simmons though.
Yeah, I know.
Like Simmons shooting is just like
I agree. No, at first I was like, well, Paul kind of isn't great at shooting, but
yeah,
he actually wasn't.
He's a pretty solid shooter.
Yeah.
I was at that Hawks game in the playoffs, Celtics Hawks, where he got, I think it was like 45 points. Celtics still got the dub.
Good old days.
Good old days. IT4.
So not only did they get Ben Simmons, who remember he probably should have won Defensive Player of the Year, top 3 defensive player this year.
Definitely.
I mean, well, if you play,
no,
this year didn't play.
Yeah, if he actually played, yeah.
He's a great passer, which is going to be great for KD.
Yeah.
And Kyrie. If Kyrie plays.
Yeah, right.
If
Kyrie actually plays and takes the funds.
They also got Andre Drummond.
Yeah.
Great fit. He was rumored before.
Yeah.
I think he was throwing in some rumors.
They needed that.
Yeah, and he'll definitely sign an extension. I think he would have signed. I think he would have stayed with the Sixers also. It's a great fit there next to Embiid, great power. They did really, really good together. They actually both brought the ball up a lot. So
yeah,
but I think he's going to be a perfect fit with New York. They didn't have size.
Yeah,
they have
definitely.
LA. They have Aldridge.
Yeah, I do. I definitely think that he's going to be a good fit there, and and Seth Curry going over there
and
too.
Seth Curry as the last one, dude. He's going to space that floor.
That's just absolutely insanity, dude. Like, I cannot believe. I know it's James Harden. Like, I'll say that a million times. I know it's James Harden coming to your team, but how can you give up that much? Like, if you're bringing in James Harden, you must be trying to win now.
Well, yeah. And
then you give up everything. Like, if they at least kept Seth Curry off of that trade and tossed in even 2 other random dudes, there you go.
They should have swapped out Danny Green and Curry. They should have swapped out Curry.
Exactly, but that's probably what they first came with, and then they finally, like you always say, at the end of the day, they need to make that extra. Like they just got to do the trade, and then boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like some of these things need to happen. If you want this to happen, it needs to happen. And
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And they also gave up 2 first-round picks. So as Stephen A. quoted, how the hell do you go from asking for picks to giving up 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
For real, like how does that even
That's pathetic.
For real, I don't even care if my job's in the line. I'd be like, just for the team, no.
Daryl Morey is a freaking idiot.
Seriously,
he's an idiot.
He's
the bonehead move.
Go back to the Celtics beating, sorry, when the 76ers thought the Celtics were gonna lose to them and they blew the freaking celebration confetti down. They lost. That is what's raining down again today for the Raptors.
So you got James Harden. Woo! Oh wait, we gave up Seth Curry and Drummond in 2 first-round picks.
Suck it back up.
Let's not do that again. So they clearly lost that. They gave up all of their depth. They're not that scary. The Nets now are very scary.
Yeah, for real.
Especially if Kyrie comes back. And let's think, the Nets big three, they were 13-3 in the 16 games they played together.
Yep.
If Kyrie got vaccinated and played, you think the big three would still be there in New York and Brooklyn?
Not to create too much dead air, man, but that's a really tough question.
It is.
That is hard to even come close to answering because, I saw, we live in New England anyway, so firsthand we basically saw how Kyrie and everything went with that situation in Boston and, how he kind of made his way out of Cleveland and everything. And it's not to say he's the issue every time or anything of the sort, but there is an issue everywhere he goes. And this time he drove someone else out of where he is. And
basically, yeah.
I do think, the vaccine is like an issue for that, but at the same time, who knows if he was around and then they just didn't mesh well together. And even through that, they clearly just didn't in general. So I don't know, man. I think it would have happened no matter what, honestly. And it's not to say James Harden isn't part of the only problem at the end of the day, too.
Yeah.
Look how many teams he's been on.
Yeah. And just to keep it with Kyrie real quick, a lot of people are kind of saying, like, oh, you should have given up Kyrie instead of Harden in any kind, not even just like simple, like if you were going to do it, get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
To me, you're not going to get the same value back. You don't know what kind of Kyrie you're getting.
Exactly.
You don't know what kind of Harden you're getting either.
True.
Because like you said, he's been on a few different teams. He's been with Morey before, which is why he
wants
him back. But the thing is, what kind of James Harden you're not getting the Houston James Harden that you had.
No, you're not.
He's a whole different player. You might get him for the first 15, 20 games.
Yeah.
When you have him, or like you might have him towards the push into playoffs.
Yeah.
Come next season, come mid-season next year, when he already signed his player option, he already took the player option for the Sixers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to get the same Houston Harden, at least not the full season, not to what you think you're going to get.
But that's a lot of these players nowadays, man. It's not to say like the young ones aren't doing it and stuff in like middle age, I guess, but like a lot of the guys that are getting up in there in years, and especially like Harden, dude, he's one of those guys, example A.
Exactly. He's old.
It's tough to put LeBron in that category because he still busts ass and everything. He's trying to just make it work. Yeah, exactly. He's a fine line, dude.
Yep.
For real, definitely. As much as I don't like him for him just being LeBron, just being the enemy always. But he is that guy. Exactly. The total 5 tool. And like I always say, and the biggest key in this trade and why I said in the beginning, Ben Simmons should go to the Nets. I don't know how long ago I said that, but I remember saying it was at least a month ago, if not a little less.
It was before the big rumors. It was before
definitely before
started.
Oh, for sure. And my biggest thing was he can go there and play that bully ball again. He can do the nitty gritty work. He doesn't have to just shoot the ball. They can make it work. No, and the other thing cool too is he's got Andre Drummond by his side, who's already worked a little bit.
Yep.
So there you go. Like I think they're gonna work together well. And Curry expect.
Actually, he didn't play with Drummond.
I mean, he didn't play a lot.
He didn't play at all.
Wait, and they only brought him in this year, right? Yeah. So no, he didn't play with Drummond. But I mean,
did he that? No, they didn't.
Yeah, I know. No, that is when they. No, mind. So scratch that, I guess. But at least he has Curry though.
He knows about him.
Yeah, he knows about him. He knows who he is.
Yeah, he has Curry.
He's brought by him in the locker room.
Curry saved them in the playoffs to get to that spot where he's a little bit.
Exactly. So like he has Curry there, and that's going to be a huge thing with just working with the guard and everything. And I mean, I don't know. Is it really going to be that hard to adjust and having someone that's, I mean, like everyone wants to say, and it's not that he's not, but as great as KD and Kyrie at the end of the day, like they're pretty great players and everything. I think they can make it work. So I don't know.
Harden. Well, actually, we didn't really think that about Harden. We didn't really think about everyone kind of knew the big three would blow up.
Yeah.
Everyone thought the same thing with Miami.
And did you see? I mean, I think you already said it earlier in the chat there. of KD over there liking on accident on the wrong,
I don't think it was on
not the
accident.
burner page.
I think wasn't it his own account? Was it not?
Yeah, was it? I said Don. Yeah, by accident on his
He
burner.
liked it on his account. He
Yeah.
liked it. Was it the Harden trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he liked it.
Yeah.
And
I was
then
like, God.
so KD liked the trade, and then Joel Embiid posted the meme of the dude. I showed up at my own boy's funeral to
Yeah.
make sure he was dead. He
Yeah.
posted that meme on Twitter. So
That's insane.
a lot of stuff going on. And like you said earlier, Philly is not the fan base to mess with.
No, not at all.
Let me tell you a date to put in your calendar. Circle it. Get a plane ticket. Drive there. I don't care. March 10th in Philadelphia. The Nets are playing them.
Okay. All right.
Expect it all.
That's where it's gonna be.
Go down.
It's
Expect probably over under 2.5 fans lifetime ejected. Lifetime ban.
Definitely.
Over under half a technical. I don't know. It's gonna be a
half
wild
a technical. There's gonna be like 3 technicals.
I don't know. This odds boosted. It's a 0.5.
Yeah, it's gonna be a booster. For real.
Or odds reduced, but however you want to say it. Odds
Sure.
boosted, but number reduced.
Yeah, right.
So that's gonna be a date to watch.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
That's gonna be rough.
You already know. I mean, if you want those tickets, boy, get them now because those are gonna go. This is gonna skyrocket.
Oh yeah.
If you're looking to get in that area, go get those tickets now.
Yeah, it's gonna be a help. Even if it's
They're
not.
probably already skyrocketed. It's probably too late.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's been an hour. That 5 minutes after is like. Ding.
Yeah, you gotta have Woj on like.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Chance been a little better than Woj.
Yeah, seriously, but we got McGee over here, who's a breaker himself. Yeah, dude, I know.
Chat is
it's a little hot. Yeah, seriously, first hot in the country.
But
let's get it.
We'll get over to another thing we were talking about earlier. We're talking about the Los Angeles Lakers, all the way over in the West. Have they kind of been in shambles?
Yeah.
You were saying, you know what? These guys, they're a LeBron team. They can come back at a 7th seed, middle of the season, trade deadline. They can
definitely,
even with no moves being made.
Like I said before, FanDuel, if you're gonna bet the Lakers at any point in the season, bet them right now.
Might as well bet them to make playoffs.
Yeah.
It's probably a good line because even 7 through 10, those even 7 seed right now can get knocked out of playoffs.
Definitely.
And not be because they get knocked out of playing better.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that would be a good bet because you never know with LeBron.
Exactly, dude. He's been able to will him a lot of times, more times than not. This would be one of the most rarest times of him not willing the team that he put together himself.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing, he put together himself, and as soon as they did, everybody said, this won't work well together.
Yeah.
And it turns out so far they're definitely right.
Yeah.
But
exactly
how I mentioned earlier, I want to run it back about 12 years. We talked about the Miami Heat, the big three there.
Yep.
They collapsed in the finals against the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
Wade averaged 27 on 18 shots. LeBron averaged 18 on 15.
Yep.
In game 2 of that finals, they blew a 15-point lead with 7 minutes left. Game 4 of that finals, LeBron scored 0 in the 4th. Game 5 of the finals, LeBron scored 2 in the 4th. They blew a 2-1 lead and they lost. You know why they lost? Because nobody knew their roles. It seems like a very, very similar situation with the Los Angeles Lakers and Westbrook and LeBron. So with the Miami Heat, remember Dwayne Wade that very summer.
Yeah.
He said, I'm taking a backseat to you. You give me the guy. Because with the Heat, it was a you the man, you do this, you do it.
Exactly.
But now Wade said, I'm taking a backseat. We gotta establish some roles. And
for sure.
They started going off.
Yeah.
And then we saw the same thing when LeBron went back to Cleveland with Kyrie there.
Definitely.
Kyrie was averaging more shots than LeBron because he said, you know what? We got the roles. We're gonna do this.
Yeah.
So we see that same thing happening all the time. LeBron was playing off Kyrie. The same thing with Davis when they just won. We saw LeBron do that with Kyrie and Wade. We saw him do it with Anthony Davis. We saw the same thing with Shaq taking a backseat to Wade in 06 with the Heat. So these are just things that people do. Wade did it with Bron in 2012. Just let these guys figure it out. I think we might have jumped the gun on saying Westbrook isn't going to work out because, just looking back at how LeBron handles these teams, they don't always start off great. And when they don't, he adjusts accordingly.
Yeah, they finish well.
I think we might have jumped the gun a little bit.
Could, but it's getting pretty rough right now. The road is as rocky as it can get probably for them. And Westbrook is taking all the heat is the thing. And that's why it's like it's a lot
in front office too.
Yeah.
Not just because they got him, but like just because you're not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not helping him. You're just tossing him out to the media and making him answer questions that he can't answer.
They didn't even bring him in. LeBron brought him in. You're just sitting there back watching, being a yes man.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing anything, and Westbrook's taking the heat for it. And,
For sure.
And he as he should, because he's getting all these turnovers. He's shooting. He's playing bad.
Like I always say, he's trying to do too much. That's just
exactly. And it's like when AD and LeBron are on the court, go rebound, go do something else. You don't got to be doing everything. You're not with the Thunder anymore.
Yeah.
And you know how we said, the big three with Kyrie, KD, and Harden.
Yeah.
They only played 16 games together.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many games AD, Braun, and Westbrook played together? 17. And you know how many?
It's what I'm talking about by consistency in a roster. That people expect to be great teams. The fans expect great teams. Yet the players, and it's mostly NBA. Honest to God, because like MLB, I get it. You have 162 games. You need to rest at times, but 82 games. Like I get some rest days, but you guys are resting way too much. And I mean, if you're hurt, you're hurt. But there's just too much resting and all this stuff and strategic, all that to get to the end of the year. And you have no consistency and continuity and all that and chemistry in your roster.
And
Nothing.
A lot of it is 80s injuries. I know you were talking to me about that before.
Yeah.
And when we talk about when
he's the man that you have to have go to be able to be a championship team.
He's the reason the whole thing is together.
Yeah.
They traded the farm. They got him one ring. Cool, great Disney ring. Cool.
Yeah.
We traded the farm for one ring.
Cool.
You can say as a Laker fan, like, oh yeah, cool, we got a ring. It was worth it.
Right.
Was it though? Because you give up a ton, and you're playing like shit right now. Like,
definitely.
With Davis on your team, with LeBron, the Davis that was playing in New Orleans, if you got him, you should easily be winning 2 rings.
Oh, not even a question.
Easily.
For sure, dude.
And the fact that his injuries playing since he got there, LeBron and AD have only played 44% of games together. They played less than half of the games together.
Yeah, most definitely, dude. That's why I just like Harden basically didn't even try this year with them. It's just like that's one of those things where you just get traded, you don't even try basically, and then you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Like I don't know.
I just think we jumped the gun too much because.
Yeah. And hey, at least he's not like forcing the trade out, because if he stays, which there's no reason why he can't or shouldn't, and everything like you said before, like they were basically locked in because of the price and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Just I don't know, man. It should work out. It really should. But it's like the Ben Simmons thing. He's not a shooter. He's got to do what he's got to do, and he's just got to kind of not try to do too much.
They're stuck with him because everybody that will take Westbrook, they say, I need your 2027 first round pick.
Yeah.
The reason it's so far away is because the 2023, 25 are both protected because of like the serpentine rule where you can't trade multiple consecutive first round picks.
Yeah.
So 2027 is like something they can draft, and everybody knows LeBron's not going to be there, so it's going to be a very, very valuable pick.
Oh yeah.
And they're not willing to part with that, and nobody's willing to make a trade without that. So they might be stuck with Westbrook unless they're saying, screw it. And they might be worse off of waiting on that. It might have well been better to do it right from. I know I just said give him more time, but if they were going to do the trade, at this point, just ride him out his contract.
Yeah, no, they're kind of forced into
unless
it.
Someone budgets.
Yeah.
Like if at this point, do not give away that pick. If you already turned down all these deals, I mean, we don't know how many there were, but we know there was at least 6 or 7 teams interested in Westbrook.
Yeah.
If all of them wanted that pick and you said no, then you better not get rid of the pick until you have it. You better use that pick yourself.
That's true.
Otherwise, you're wasting time, you're wasting everybody's effort, energy, all that stuff.
Dude, most definitely. It's like I said, rock and a hard place. Mm-hmm. Just wild.
But we're talking about the trash Lakers really quick. We're going to go over to some news that broke out about a week ago about the Lakers legend Jerry West, Mr. Logo himself.
For damn sure.
He had his lifetime season tickets for the Lakers revoked out of the blue, and he's not even sure why, and he wasn't even notified when it happened. His wife received a text letting him know that it was revoked. So he went on to say, this organization treats me like trash. I don't know what happened before that, but running back on West's resume, he was a Laker. For the most of his career, he won as a Laker in '72. Mm-hmm. He has his jersey retired. He coached the Lakers for 3 years and made playoffs each season. And he also won 6 rings as the Lakers GM. So we don't know why this happened, but if I were to make a guess, we all know the Jerry West now, or I don't know now, but he was a GM or something of the Clippers.
Yeah, Clippers, yep.
He recruited Kawhi and PG essentially.
Yep.
The way he did it was he kind of threw the front office under the bus, which turns out now he's not really lying.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah.
So he said, he called the Lakers a shit show.
Yeah.
Essentially. And also Jeannie Buss, the Lakers owner, which is the daughter of the late Jerry Buss,
Yeah.
who gave Jerry West the tickets.
Yeah.
So his daughter is the one that revoked them. She didn't name him Jeannie Buss, the daughter. She did not name Jerry West as a top 5 important Laker of all time. And now you can say, look at, like the best players, it might not be the same as the most important.
Yeah.
And Mr. Logo himself, I would say you might just need to. I mean,
yeah, a default kind of de facto.
They have so many guys, but there's kind of
there's a place where it all started.
Yeah, there's been bickering back and forth, kind of some low blows, stuff like that. And there's also been rumors that Jerry Buss, the father who is now passed away, there's rumors that he never even paid Jerry West for getting Shaq to LA. Jerry West was supposed to receive about $1 million for recruiting Shaq, which is not an easy idea. And remember, Shaq took less money with the Lakers than he would have gotten to stay with Orlando Magic, with Penny.
Yeah.
So who knows? Something's going on there. And West claims that Jeannie Buss, didn't really do anything, but he doesn't think Jeannie did much about it. But he did point a few fingers at some other people in the Lakers management. He didn't specify who they are, but there are 2 co-owners next to Jeannie Buss. So maybe it's those 2 other guys he's talking about.
It could be, definitely.
Maybe they have something over him. Maybe he has something over them. I don't know. But there's been a lot of shade on him for almost, it seems like no reason, because Jerry West really just kind of kept it like it is.
Yeah, for sure.
He said, hey, first of all, if I'm working for a different company than you, I don't care about your past employees. They're not even on your team anymore.
Exactly.
They're never on your team, actually.
Yeah, for real.
So if they wanted to go to team, I'm going to steal them. I'm going to put you on the bus short.
Yeah, they're on your dad's team.
Yeah, I don't care if I play. I don't care if I played for you. I mean, I'm your competitor now, and that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. It's just insanity, honestly.
Mm-hmm. You're saying, you want to come here, or do you want to go where Bonzi goes? He's going to tell you where to do everything. So
yeah, it's crazy. I'll say that much.
Speaking of coaches, the NBA released a top 15 all-time head coach list.
Hell yeah, they did.
Which is pretty cool that they did that.
Yeah.
However, there's always going to be controversy. Who's left out? Who's on here that shouldn't be?
Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
Number 1 though is rightfully so, right in the perfect spot.
Yep. Right back. Celtics legends. Bill Russell. I mean, Bill. He did player coach 2 years ago.
Big old red dude.
Yeah. The big red.
Oh yeah.
Great. This is very deserving.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Top 2, if not 1 of all time.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
By the way, these are all going in
iconic old cigar.
These are all going alphabetical order, although you could say Big Red number 1. Number 2.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. He's just number 1 because it's rightful from up there.
Yeah, you can definitely argue that.
Put him on the top.
Then we got Chuck Daly, Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, Lenny Wilkins, Larry Brown, Red Holzman, Casey Jones, Don Nelson, Jack Ramsey, Steve Kerr, Greg Popovich, Doc Rivers, Jerry Sloan, and Eric Spoelstra. Do you have any names on here that you think are missing or shouldn't be here?
I can't really come up with any off the top of my head, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Some people say Spoelstra because he kind of was with Heat. Some people say Kerr.
That's tough because Spoelstra has been, he's basically a Mike Tomlin of the NBA. He's always has not a contender, but a relevant team at least. They're always around the 500 mark and humming around and getting over that hump and making playoffs even when they really shouldn't be. So I think he's rightful to be on there. He's definitely a very solidified coach, and he has the championships to go with it, even if they bought the teams to do it.
And this isn't really part of his coaching resume, but I mean, he started off as like the videotape guy, and worked like all the way up. So that's pretty cool.
I remember that
not
too.
Not consideration for this, I wouldn't imagine, but
cool. Still, like that's probably the most raw a guy's ever came into a job.
They probably do take it. It's probably not the criteria, but they probably put that back in their mind when they're doing this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And just to name it off, like it's really tough to put it out there, but Steve Kerr, he's won some rings, but we do know how much they bought after. Like they did draft most of it, but they bought into.
That's what one of the things I was gonna say. Mark Jackson, if he was still he got the core for the Warriors. Yeah. He formed their offense.
Yeah.
He was let go for whatever reason, Steve Kerr came in. There was controversy all about it.
Yeah.
If Mark Jackson had a 600 record with those guys, if he was still there to this day, he would probably be swapped to Steve Kerr on his list. He would be swapped.
True.
Assuming they probably would have had the same amount of rings close to it.
Yeah.
I think their names would be swapped. So
definitely.
Not saying Kerr's a bad coach, because it does take a lot of time to coach guys at this level. I mean, we look at the Nets, we look at Philly, we look at the other big threes and stuff like that. So it is very, very hard to do this. So
that's why a lot of people think LeBron's gonna be a great coach if he was to do that. After own a team.
He'll make his way up.
He'll do all of it. He'll do everything. GM, own it, all that.
He's a
play.
Everything goes through me.
He's gonna just go to Sacramento and be like, all right, now I'm the Kings. the Sacramento LeBron Kings.
I'm the scout, I'm the GM, I'm the president, I'm the owner, I'm the player.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
He currently already is, basically.
And then LeBron's team is gonna move wherever LeBron cares to move to.
So LeBron's gonna be on this list probably about 30 years from now.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, you had to put it out there, and I know you've been talking about it here with little Doc Rivers being on that list, and is he belong? I'm gonna put it right out there now. I think he belongs because I look at him in the same way as Spoelstra. I know Spoelstra may have a little more on the ring side, but I think he's just well above 500 coach. Yeah, he may fail when he gets to the damn conference finals almost every time, except for the 1 year with the Celtics, but it still takes a damn guy to get there. And hell, if Brad Stevens could have just stuck around coaching, I think he could have been one of these guys on this list eventually too.
Maybe.
But
I don't know.
I think he was a hell of a coach, honestly. Eventually, a guy like that gets a ring. Eventually.
Yeah, okay, but being a good coach with one ring does not make you top 15 all time. That's not saying.
But how many great
coaches
are on there? Because Doc is on there. He has one ring.
I know. I'm not saying that's what. Okay.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be what this is on there. In my opinion, that's the reason why Doc is on there. Is, I'll get to this later. I have a little bit more things, kind of describing it more.
Right.
I think if you took one off, it would be Doc. If you had to take one off.
I guess.
I'm not saying Doc's if you put him.
No, I get what you mean, because those other ones are very historic names. A lot of them are
I'll put Doc easily
easy.
top 25, even top 20 coaches all time. But
easy.
You can make debates for probably 4 or 5 of these guys. And so when I'm doing my Doc right now, so
okay.
Looking at Doc, the very first criticism you hear of Doc is 3-1 blown lead records.
Yeah.
Which he has 3 of, which is the most in NBA history for any coach.
Yeah.
Looking at those series, the first one he was with the Orlando Magic against the Detroit Pistons in the first round, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's
in the first round. They had Grant Hill. They have Tracy McGrady. Grant Hill goes out with injury. You still got T-Mac, who's putting up over 30 a night.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, they go up 3-1 and they blow a lead to Rick Carlisle, who's, by the way, not mentioned on the list. One of those guys I think should be. I have a list of guys who I think should be on there.
He is definitely a guy that should be up there. It's tough though. You gotta pick and choose.
Yep. And then immediately after that, Doc starts the next season. So they blow a 3-1 lead. He starts the next season 1-10, gets fired, then joins the Celtics. Right?
Yeah.
Ends up when he wins a ring with the Celtics. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
There's always controversy with any championship. There's always an asterisk. There's always, this and that. There's always something.
Yeah.
With the Celtics, you're not going to say it's the first super team. You're not going to say that because
definitely not. But first in a while,
we've seen it back to back.
First in a while.
In the modern era, it was the most dominant offense that we've seen.
Oh yeah, dude.
The first time that it's happened in the modern era. So it was.
Is it not one of the first times where a team comes together like that? Literally first time or first season, boom, championship.
And I mean,
insanity.
Not only that, but Garnett had to waive his trade. He's like, I'm waiving my trade clause on the Celtics. So it was more free demand. He's like, I'm doing this. I'm joining my buddies. It wasn't like, he got traded there. It wasn't his fault. Like, no, he declined his trade option.
He literally wanted it.
And
100%.
Coming in Ray Allen. I mean, he wasn't the supersonic Ray Allen.
And he never wanted it in the first place.
Yeah.
So it was a huge weight mover.
They got it there, and they got to the finals in 2010.
Yeah.
Right? Or 2009.
2009.
Yeah. We'll fast forward to Doc Rivers with the Clippers versus the Rockets in 2015.
Yeah.
They get to the second round. They get a 3-1 lead. after losing game 2.
Yeah.
Fast forward to game 6. Kevin McHale infamously benches James Harden for the Rockets for the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He had Josh Smith and Corey Brewer.
Yeah.
I don't know why Josh Smith and Corey Brewer were out there.
Yeah.
But they were good enough to beat Doug Rivers' Clippers.
Yeah. I remember that, dude. That was
insanity. It was one of the most shocking upsets to the date.
Yeah.
It was just the fact that Harden got benched, let alone, is kind of crazy. And you're like, oh wow, the Clippers, they got this. Like they're gonna come back 3-2, 3-3, whatever.
Yeah.
Nope. And then they put out some bums. I'm sorry, Josh Smith, you're a bum. I'm not even saying that as a Pistons fan. Yeah. Yes, I am. You're a bum.
We talked before about Harden and his issues, so let's see, it pops up there.
So there's that, and then we fast forward even more recently to 2020 when they just lost in round 2 with real need to the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
The Clippers were they were favorites. They were a really, really good team.
Yeah, no, they
2
were.
years ago, and just 1 year ago, really.
Yeah.
And they had a ton of bench depth. They had Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. So what they do during the playoffs, they decided to just not show up.
Yeah, pack it in.
Game 7.
Like always.
Game 7, Kawhi and Paul George don't score in the fourth quarter. What's that about? And you can tell me, okay, well, the players, they're missing their shots, not getting to their spots, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
That's not coach's fault. To me, that is 100% coach's fault. You got to make your plays, get your guys to their spots.
Definitely.
If they're missing open shots, sure, but keep shooting.
But you also need players that are because when he was at the Celtics, it's not to say they won everything, but they had one championship and they were perennial. Every year they were basically in the conference and
the conference finals.
Conference finals. And it's like you're right there. So he's obviously doing enough during the season, right, and stuff. And like those players, I just truly, honestly, it's everything with the motion and everything getting easier for players now. I think players, it's not to say mean or anything. I think they're less dedicated nowadays. More so to the NBA than anything. Like NFL, you can't be less dedicated because you get your fucking head blown off, basically. Yeah, like you're gone. But the NBA, it's such it's not to say they're so lax, but there's definitely a relaxed factor to it.
They run the league and they know it.
Yeah, the players run the league because they got the money, and the owners have money too. But dude, they're just whatever. It's okay.
They need to figure out a whole sit out thing.
Exactly, dude. Players have taken over the league by a stretch. It's crazy.
Yeah, but looking back at that Denver series, like you said, to me it is if your guy's not shooting, then just take him out. Be a coach. Definitely. Don't let him just. Doc Rivers has this tendency to just stick to the game plan and let it ride out the entire freaking game. Yeah. Sometimes you got to adjust, and I don't see that a lot with Doc, which is kind of a knock on him, I would say. Mm-hmm. But with the Denver one, his defensive strategies aren't very good either because they ended up doubling Jokic, which is good thing to do. They do it every single possession. Every single time he touches the ball, they double him to the point where they understood the strategy. And now Jokic, who's the best passing center maybe of all time,
could just
assist leader in the league
anywhere he wants.
Without even looking.
Yep.
And so that's just another reason why they just got destroyed.
Just insane.
And then if you want to look at today's Sixers, against the Hawks, the whole Ben Simmons thing. He had Danny Green guard Trae Young in the playoffs. Trae Young put up 25 and 8 in the half. In 2 quarters, 25 and 8 on Danny Green. I don't know, his defensive mindset is just kind of confusing to me. Meanwhile, Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle, who are both all NBA defenders, not on the ball, and one of them's on the bench.
Definitely, yeah. It's what are they doing over there?
And it's not just a 3-1 lead. So I'm really laying in Doc here. He blows 3-2 leads too, which isn't as bad.
Yeah.
But again, leading the NBA in both these things, which is it says something. Doc has 3 more series of 3-2 leads that got blown, making his playoff record not a lackluster, but a fair vanilla 500. His playoff record is around 500.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But these things.
I mean, hey, it's still tough to be 500 in the playoffs, though.
It is, but
that's why I think it's the experience factor. I think he's been there so many times. He's been in so many conference finals that's why they're we have to put him in there.
Yeah,
that's what it seems like.
Finals appearances, maybe, but even that, it's top 15. What?
Yeah.
How many conference finals does he have? 6 that he's made and 1 that he's won.
Yeah.
So, but to me, the top 15 is like so narrow. It's just so borderline. It's just
You gotta think of how many coaches are great though, and how like you gotta really weigh it out. If you put out every single coach that's ever coached in the NBA, and you put it in, even if you put it in just win total, yeah, stat muse, just win to some shout out stat muse, just a win total of either playoffs or even regular season and playoffs. Look at that, and then see
win totals because you got the 3 games so many times.
Guess how many coaches even have wins in the playoffs? All time in the NBA, every coach ever, how many even have playoff wins?
At least half of them because they had to have won at least one series to advance.
I'm talking about
coaches. Championship?
I'm talking about coaches in general. Like every coach that's ever coached in the NBA.
Put
it on a list, and how many have even won one playoff game out of every coach that's ever coached in the NBA? I know it's like a wild. That's what I'm saying.
Probably like 40%.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this is leading to what I'm saying about them putting him on the list. It's just one of those things where he's been there so many times, and it's hard to even get into it. That's like Belichick always says. It's like the season, like you have to like get through the marathon to get to the next season because it's a whole nother season. So to even be able to get to that second season inside the season is very tough as it is.
No. Okay.
So I think that, like I said, that's why he's on the list. That's why he's there.
Change the list to top 20 and you'll be a lot safer.
No, exactly. I feel you because there is other people. Who are these people? Your mystery people that you have on this list.
And here's what I'm going to say. All right, I'm about to name some guys that I think could be replacing Doc Rivers.
Definitely.
And again, these are all good coaches. I'm not saying they're not great. They're not top 20 or whatever. Not top 25. But these guys I think could very well replace Doc. So these guys, some of the qualifications. Some of them are already in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Most of them won rings as a head coach. He's been named Coach of the Year, Coach All-Star Games, Coach Olympics. These are things that Doc has also done.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of these guys we've talked about. Rick Carlisle.
Yeah.
His ring with the Mavs.
Yeah.
I think is worth more than the one with Celtics. I would say.
I guess.
There's a point in time.
It's tough on this side.
There's a point in time where Rick had a playoff series victory against every active NBA championship coach except Pat Riley. Pat Riley is just one of the GOATs of all time. So that's something that you'll never see again, probably.
No, probably not. That's a total GOAT record.
And that's including guys that are on the list: Larry Brown, Phil Jackson, Popovich, Doc, Spoelstra, Lenny Wilkins. Those are all guys on the list that he's beaten in a series.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike D'Antoni, probably the biggest surprise not on this list. This man started the 7-second offense. He changed the whole NBA games, what everybody uses today.
Exactly.
Triangle, or that's like I don't know. D'Antoni is probably one of the biggest names that should be on there.
He's another big.
And he could definitely replace Doc. I don't want to hear debate about that.
No, he definitely could. There's huge upside from him.
Another one I would name George Karl.
Yep, another good coach.
Another one,
definitely.
Nate McMillan.
Yeah.
Another one, Rudy T. The Houston Rockets, and sometimes with the Timberwolves. More so as a Rocket. More controversial for Doc, very, very more controversial than like George Karl. But still one of those guys that if you're gonna put Doc on top 15, then this guy's got to be in your top 20 also.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau, where's he at?
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Tom Thibodeau, he's another.
No ring, but
he's right in the same way as he's just one ring shy of Doc Rivers. He's literally the staple of Doc Rivers. Besides all the laundry list of 3-1 and 3-2 blowns that you were talking about there.
Yep, Rick Ellman too. These are guys that and
definitely
one name I want. Some people want to like it because of how they won, but you look at Frank Vogel, the Lakers. He has a championship. And you're not. That's very, very, very hard to say. It's it's almost laughable.
Yeah.
But
that's
the reason I want to make this transition is we talked about that one ring with the Celtics. Hypothetically, let's take it away.
Yeah.
All right. Do you realize how drastically that would take him off this list, Doc Rivers? In my opinion.
Yeah, no, those guys could definitely there's 3 guys in there who could probably replace him.
I think some of these guys, maybe all these except 2 that I named that could replace him now.
Yeah.
But I'm about to name a few more that let's say Doc didn't get his ring.
Yeah.
And obviously he got it, so we're gonna give it to him. You know,
Yeah.
deserving ring, whatever. But let's just play for fun. He didn't get it. Some guys I think can get it. They can make it over this list.
Yeah.
Or that is better not better than Doc, but maybe slightly below par, but like within the ballpark.
Yeah.
But not top 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Frank Vogel as the transition. Mark Jackson, we talked about replacing Kurt.
Yeah,
he didn't really get a fair chance anywhere, so he's kind of an outlier. Brett Brown, he's pretty good. The Sixers and like.
Yeah, it's tough too. Yeah, he was good.
Mike Budenholzer.
Budenholzer, now that's a little more of a name to it for sure.
And even give him more time with Giannis.
Yeah.
He's gonna be. He might be up there if he got these guys up there.
Yeah, for real, that's true, dude. Definitely, Budenholzer holds a little more weight to me. That's for sure.
Even the last name I have is Flip Saunders.
Oh yeah, no, Flip.
Not even good. Again as Piston, not even Piston as a Timberwolf even.
Yeah.
You know, this man, even with Garnett, the great relationship they had.
Yep.
Good amount with the Pistons too.
Yeah, dude. Flip was good.
Yeah, he was kind of RIP to the legend. My own legend. People might not think it was a legend, but so people might not like him as a top 15 or something near there. But those are guys I think are controversially could be up there. Not this last set of guys I just said, but one before that could be mixed with those 2 or 3 guys we mentioned. Kerr, Spoelstra, Rivers, some guys that might not be have a consensus around.
Yeah, for sure, dude, definitely.
So those are some guys. But before we finish up the NBA segment, quickly run through the All-Star weekend. We have the
it's gonna be a hell of a weekend, man.
So fun.
They usually pack in some good stuff, and it's not as bad as the NFL where they have to 2-hand touch like we were talking about before and stuff. But it is one of those things where they have some awesome skills, and I'm more than glad than ever to see the big men in those skills competitions winning it last year. So
they won it every year.
Yeah, something like that. So let's see how they keep doing, man. Because honestly, they're killers out there.
One thing I want to see, which everybody's kind of dying for, is a 1v1 tournament.
That wouldn't be bad.
The NBA actually next year might be implementing a 3v3.
See, I thought like a 2-2 or 3v3 would be better, honestly. Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
1v1 should be replaced.
And yes, we did talk about the 3v3 on a couple episodes ago.
Maybe we did, because
that was cool. I like that.
Talking about with Giannis.
Yeah.
How him and his brothers want to do it.
Yeah, it was something like
his brothers to do it.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. What if the Holiday brothers, get the Lopez's back here?
Yeah, right. But, it'll be the brothers.
That'd be pretty cool to do that. But I also think maybe not 1v1, but like a horse. It'd be fun to watch.
21.
21, yeah.
That'd be crazy.
But
too much effort.
What we do have now, we do have the 3-point contest participants.
Yeah.
To start off, we knew that Zach LaVine got in. He's a pretty good shooter from deep.
There you go.
For Chicago.
Definitely, he's a sniper.
Mm-hmm. Desmond Bain, another one of those role players in the corner.
Yeah.
Throw it up, good shooter.
Good one too.
Big man, Karl-Anthony Towns. He's been known to shoot. He's
hell yeah,
dude.
He's
the best big man shooter of all time, which has struck off controversy.
Definitely, that's a little tough to say there. But he's a very skilled and strong shooter, especially out wide.
Very good player, but
yeah.
Fred VanVleet got his first All-Star appearance, and is making the 3-point contest. Also, very great breakout year for him. CJ McCollum.
Yep.
The guy that just got traded.
Yep. Is he gonna wear the new jersey or the old jersey? How's that gonna go? Is he played yet?
Right.
Oh man.
These next, and then Trae Young, obviously one of those guys that kind of has to get thrown in there.
Yep, for sure.
These next 2 guys, I will say, I called ahead of time.
Yep.
Luke Kennard and Patty Mills.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Luke was saying he wanted to get in, so I kind of just took his word for it. But Patty Mills was kind of a shot in the dark I gave up because I remember he started the season with Brooklyn. His first game, he had 5 threes.
Yeah.
He just so I just remember that. It feels like it.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
Out of these guys, LaVine, Bain, Cat, Fred, McCollum, Kennard, Mills, Young, what do you got? Do you have a favorite? I mean, it might be close. It might come to overtime. It's happened a few times.
That's gonna be tough for me, honestly, man. I'll go first off, and it really stinks out. I have 3 guys. Honestly, this is really, really hard.
Yeah.
I want to say LaVine is the favorite, but I also really want to say Luke Kennard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what in me. I'm not a Pistons fan, but I'm close to one. And
He's with the Clippers now.
no, I know, but he started with them, and that's I've seen enough of him, and that guy when he gets hot can get really hot, and it's not a game situation, so who knows, man. But the other guy I was gonna say was three horse race here, and CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum,
New team fire.
Yeah. I don't want to pick Levine. I do want to pick Luke Kennard as my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to say Patty just because I picked him to get in.
Yeah.
But I want to say Luke McCollum definitely, but I think the three would be Luke Bain and
yeah,
maybe and McCollum. Luke Bain and McCollum, I'll say.
Yeah.
Vliet might even get over Young. I think Young might be one of those. Sometimes there's like really good guys that like don't have good showings.
Yeah.
So I think it might be like that for him. This is just obviously
That's
a random
true.
guess.
Yeah.
I think we might see a Luke, Bain, and McCollum. Those are my final three, I guess, with Luke winning it.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. I think that's gonna be a hot competition for sure. Real close, I'm sure too, because those are all pretty good snipers. Cat beat it there is nice thing to see.
I also kind of give it to Luke. I always give an extra little something to the left-hand shooters. I think they got a little bit nicer touch than us righties.
Yeah, so, they're more
not those 23s.
Dude, it's one thing I always found out when I was young when I rolled my ankle bad enough that I couldn't kick it well with my right. I used it as my plant leg for my left. I'm really powerful. I can do everything with my right, but when you switch over to the other side, if you're even able to utilize the other side, you're usually more accurate with your off foot or hand. So I've noticed that less power but more accuracy. So
we'll move on to the next contest. My personal favorite, which I hope they start doing better because it used to be so great in the last 2 years. It's been so underwhelming. But we're talking about the slam dunk contest. I believe it's the Sprite slam dunk still. I don't know.
Still the Sprite. Like, bring back the real Sprite.
I don't even know.
What is this?
Sponsors the NBA now.
Yeah, right.
DraftKings.
Yeah, seriously, DraftKings, FanDuel, Stat News.
Let's see, the participants this year is the number 2 overall pick, Jalen Green out of Houston, who has had an underwhelming season.
Yeah.
Obi Toppin, who plays for the New York Knicks.
He's pretty dude. He is a high flyer.
He's a high flyer. He's had
few dunks I've seen him make.
Few good dunks in game.
Oh yeah.
Put back. Cole Anthony. One of those guys you might not think right away, but this guy does have hops.
Oh yeah. Saw him in the Celtics game a couple weeks ago. He was flying, dude, for sure.
And then lastly, the fourth participant from Golden State Warriors is Juan Scano Anderson.
Hell yeah, dude.
High flyer. So we'll see what we got. I wish there was another 1 or 2 more guys. I don't know how many dunks they're gonna have. I think last year they only had like 2, which is really stupid.
Yeah, that's tough.
It should be fun. Do you have a favorite? Who do you think is gonna win? Do you have a favorite who you want to win? Or
this one ain't even tough to me. I'm just gonna go right up and go Toppin, baby. I think he's gonna take it away. I mean, I know he's got a little more weight to him, like unlike some of the other guys in there, like maybe be able to fly and actually catch some air up there and stay up there. But maybe it just might come down to creativity and having some absolutely amazing ups because he can hammer that thing home.
He's gonna come up to that and finishing it. If you pull him off. It's also going to come down to the judges because if Dwayne Wade's up there, you're going to mess up the count again.
Yeah, right. For real.
I do like Obi. I don't know who I think is going to win, but I'll tell you now, it's in his blood. Jalen Green's going to finish second. He's going to cry about it.
Yeah, probably.
And I don't know. I'm trying to think of some kind of new dunks I'm looking forward to. But those are one of those things you don't know, like, oh, that was possible until it happens.
Exactly.
Like, I remember a couple. We saw who was it? Was it I almost said Jalen? Was it who's the high flyer? He was a Rocket. Gerald Green. Was he the one that blew out the birthday candle?
Yeah, Gerald Green famously blew out the birthday candle.
And then like Dwight Howard, the Superman, he got in the phone booth.
Yeah.
JaVale McGee dunking 3 balls.
Yeah.
Levine
Blake Griffin over the car.
Levine and Aaron Gordon going back and forth. Aaron Gordon was sitting.
Yeah.
Underneath his legs, windmill.
Yeah.
When he got robbed twice by Levine. Levine did not deserve either of those.
Levine will retire out of that one and just stay in the 3-point.
I stuck 2 out. Better take my chances again.
Right.
But so I'm trying to think of some dunks I want to see, but like again, you can't really say I want to.
I'll tell you right now what I want to see. I want to see these guys. Like I said, creativity. I want to get them wild with this stuff, dude. Like they have to bring in some props that we've never seen before. Something like stop with all the here's my dad or here's a teammate or a parent, whatever, my girlfriend.
It is cool. It is cool that happens, but
it's cool. But like we need to see something that, like I said, never seen before. We need new. We need fresh. We need something that people are gonna actually want to sit and watch because. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a snoozer lately, and you don't want to get like the NFL because they've gotten way too far and not done a damn thing about it.
Yeah.
But one thing I think they really could do, and someone could pull off, would be amazing. A little 360 through the legs, maybe reverse slam.
Okay.
I think that's just it may not be absolutely fresh and brand new, but something that not every day.
Exciting.
Yeah, something sweet like that.
It always is a letdown when like these guys don't they do like their first few attempts and they can't get it, and then they're like, oh, just a simple dunk.
Yeah, and exactly.
Like, at least do like a reverse.
Yeah, like I feel like one thing too is they always get a little too caught up in having to toss the ball up from the start or do something like that instead of just like let's run up and do it. Because like I said, that kind of dunk, a 360, or even a reverse, even not a reverse, just a 360 through the legs, like anything like that. You don't have to really throw the ball, but if you want to, that's great. But then you have less time to make all the moves, in the air. So give yourself time to make that extra jump and go up and with the momentum. And I don't know, I ain't scientist with all this, and I ain't trying it out my yard every day. But yeah, sports science, stat muse, I don't know, but check it because I don't know, dude. It's just one of those things. I think they're just getting a little too less creative nowadays, and it's showing in the ratings and everything.
But I am hopeful because Adam Silver and the NBA have been like so good with like adjusting and implementing new things.
Yeah,
like they've handled situations very well. It was very dry with David Stern. I mean, it was like standard almost. And I think Adam Silver should get so much credit. David Stern is a good commissioner.
Yeah.
RIP to him. I don't want to talk nothing about him, but like Adam Silver's already making the case. He's like, bro, I'm already better than you. Like, and like count.
Yeah, kind of true.
You did like whatever years, 20, 30, whatever.
Definitely
helped out a few players here and there, whatever. But
right.
I mean,
here, hold on. Sorry for that, folks. We're right back. Just had to put on a little light because it was getting dark in here. What were you saying, Dan McGee? There.
What's with David Stern? I mean, it was a different NBA, but
yeah, no, definitely.
But Adam Silver has done an immaculate job with today's.
He's taken the reins and ran away with it.
Like if David Stern was still in charge of the NBA, if he was still alive in charge of the NBA, it wouldn't be the same. It might be worse. We probably would see this James Harden trade revoked, like how we did with Chris Paul with the Lakers 2 years ago.
Like it's crazy, but there is times where you're like, man, the NBA sometimes is too volatile. Things are moving way too much. Like,
and that's what happens when the players are in charge. That's the difference between the NBA and the NFL.
Yep, 100%, dude. 100%, definitely is. You need to find that balance at some point.
I like it with the players being in charge of everything. To be honest, I don't know if that's just like as a fan or like, but I just think like I get like these guys are they're your employers.
Yeah.
So you should listen to them. Like you shouldn't have leverage on them.
Well, it's not that
they're
it
also
shouldn't
making
be.
more money than you. They're also the reason why you're in your job. They're also the reason why you have fans.
No, exactly. Like
so,
they are.
Accordingly.
It's almost like any business at any end of the day. Everyone works it's cohesive unit. Everybody's the chemistry, everything makes everything work. So
yeah, but not every employee gets paid more than their employer.
Oh no, I get that. Trust me.
The biggest thing.
Yeah, no, that's the hugest thing. Which like at the end of the day, I don't know. We'll chalk it up to what it is, I guess.
Like I make 40 times more than you.
Yeah. Like
and it's not that crazy, but like
like it's wild though. It definitely is. That's to say the least.
And so far, we do not have any news update for like the skills challenge or anything like that yet. Hopefully, we'll have it for next week because the All-Star game is coming up. We do have they released, and we talked last time about the rookie sophomore games, how they're doing a 44 tournament.
Yeah.
They didn't release the teams. I don't have them here because I kind of forgot.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though, I'll be biased. Cade Cunningham's team is gonna win out of those four. They got Cade, they got Evan Mobley, the top two, and then they got Frank Wagner from the Those are the top three in the rookie ladder.
Yeah, basically.
And like there's other good teams. Like obviously the rookie class is really good this year.
Yeah.
And last year's. So the teams are gonna be really good, but I'm gonna be biased Pistons fan and say K-State's gonna run around with that. Again, I don't have the teams. I mean, there's 8 people on the team anyway, and half of you guys probably won't even know who they are. But we do, but I'm gonna go with them. Anyways, talking about really good players, we're gonna get over to our last section called the Beast of the Week.
Hell yeah, dude. Beast of the Week.
So over in the East, this player has averaged over 27 points a game, 12 boards, and 6 dimes within his last 4 games of the week, making 60% of his shots, 50% of his threes, and making over 3/4 of his free throw attempts. Give it up for Pascal Siakam for being our Eastern Conference
Beast of the Week.
Great job by Siakam. He's staying with the Raptors. He made it through the deadline. We saw a couple rumors about him maybe getting.
He's a big guy, dude. So
he's a big guy. So the Raptors sticking with him and Fred. Great matchup. See if they can make another run.
Dude, definitely. Yeah.
Moving over to the West.
Ooh, baby.
This young gun has been putting up 27, 8, and 3 over his last 4 games, making 51% of his J's, including 39% flip from downtown.
That's fire.
Over 80% from the line. He also got 1 steal and 2 blocks in each of the last 4 games. Brandon Ingram is your Western Conference
Beast of the Week.
A big name that's kind of not really been thrown up in trade talks, but even free agency. But the Pelicans, they got to stick with this man if they want to make any kind of move. I know they're not in a great situation right now, but they got the core. Who knows about Zion and Ingram? But Ingram has been lighting it up lately. He is our Beast of the Week. Both these guys phenomenal job.
Hell yeah, dude. Those guys absolutely ran away with it, I believe, and just on fire, man. Just wicked. Crazy ass week, man.
That's our NBA segment.
Yeah, and that's all we got for the show today, basically. The last thing we're gonna roll into is gonna be the question of the week. So last question of the week we had before was, I'm trying to think, that was the championship weekend, correct? With who was it? I'm trying to think of their name right now. Now we figured that out. We get back and we have our question of the week from last week. Dan, what was last week's?
Should the overtime rules be changed in the NFL? And if so, what should they be changed to?
And I talked immensely about my side, so everybody knows my side, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Mine is obviously going to be keep it the same and or revert back to the old rules, because big old gonna run it down to the mill. Nobody gets an extra possession. That's how I like it. It's sudden death. It's the way it's supposed to be decided. So that's my side. Dan, what do you got?
I agree. I want you to keep it the same because defense is just as much part of the game as offense, if not more.
Yep.
If you do change it, make it college rules from like the 50. But again, I want to keep it the same. Stop your complaining. Stop your whining.
Yeah.
Just saw
Joe
Burrow get the win in overtime, losing the coin toss because they idiotically chose heads in overtime.
Yeah.
They lost the coin toss, as they rightfully should.
Right.
But it's doable, so stop your whining, Josh Allen.
Yeah, for real. It's just crazy, man. Wild on their part. But we'll get to this week's question of the week before we get our asses on out of here. This week, so with the Pro Bowl being the snooze fest like it always is, and no one can really get over how they, just want to tune in to see it, but then they're like, wow, this really is shit, and nobody's tackling nobody. It's a thud practice. Friday, what do you people want out there? And you got to tell me, put in the socials, wherever it is, online, post it on the YouTube, whatever it may be in the comments section. What do you want to see for a new main event in the Pro Bowl weekend besides the game itself, since we know what it is for what it is?
Nobody wants to see the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that anymore.
They don't.
It just not.
Don't let them play a game. Give them a ring. Do something else. Let us know what you think. Don't give them a ring. I'm not shooting that.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, what are they deserving the ring?
Oh, but
most of these guys didn't even make the playoffs.
You know what though? With rings, you say, "Oh, don't give them a ring." This is an All-Star game, right?
Yeah.
NBA is now giving their All-Star rings.
I saw that. It's like
weird, right?
That's weird.
I like it. I think it's something the NBA can do. I don't think it's something I think it's just like NBA is so like secluded in its own thing. I mean, it's just like it's cool for them, but it's at the same time it's like participation trophy kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
but it's a cool accolade, but let us know what you think should be replacing the two-hand touch.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know, people, because we need to know. And yeah, that's really all for us today on this absolutely awesome show about some Super Bowl weekend. And we also have the massive free agency going down right down in town today. Everything was wild. Harden and Simmons, like I said, called that right in, boom, and one swish, everything
Marvin
with
Bagley
the
of the
dish.
Pistons.
Hell yeah,
Saw that 3
Bagley the
months
Pistons.
ago.
Like we got all this stuff covered, man. So Illuminati show, as we gotta do. We are gonna be up and on and out of here. So all y'all take it easy, and we will too.
Yep. And don't forget,
Peace.
let us know your Super Bowl favorites in the comments.
Hell yeah, drop them down there in the bottom. Super Bowl favorites and any of your maybe your favorite bets to throw out there as well.
Give us that SGP.
Hell yeah, take it easy, y'all.